Hey, let's check out. Cool. Apparently I'm live. And I'll be painting shortly. Oh, hey, Doug. Wow. Good to hear from you, man. Friends in Nova Scotia. That's pretty cool. Oh man, this is all a little tight in here. I'm gonna have to figure out a better way to set this up in the future. I'm always saying that, am I not? Every time. And my music keeps cutting out. I think we're taking up too much bandwidth here. Yes, yeah, Doug, things are going pretty darn good. Very busy, trying on new things, lots of stuff, doing a free workshop this Wednesday, then Thursday. So busy getting lots of stuff ready for that. So yeah, thanks for popping in. And of course, this replay will always be available, especially on YouTube. And you can check it out there if you want to zoom through and watch it super speed. Actually, a little faster. And yeah, if you ever want to come on, hi, Bianca. It's nice having you in our drawing group yesterday. That was cool. Lots of fun. I think my timer resets if I go back to it, so I guess the timer is done, and we're just going to start painting. I've got a commission here that needs to get done. I've been putting it off for way too long. It's due for Christmas. I'm hoping the recipient of it isn't going to be watching. Probably not. So, you know, that's always good. Hey, Christina, as always, lovely to have you. And yes, Bianca. Hey, that's good to hear, Doug. I'm looking forward to seeing what you got come up with. Okay, so this music's a little too lively for me. Anyway, hopefully nobody's. This is hopefully all royalty free, so hopefully nobody's muting the sound and I can just talk. Trying to contemplate how I'm going to compose this piece. It's the first step for me. I'm looking at my reference over here, and it's a rectangular, and I'm going into a square space, so I'm going to have to adjust things, and I think I'm going to actually shrink down the main subject a little bit, put him there, so that I can still get this interesting composition of him there and a secondary thing happening over here. So if anyone's interested in taking my free drawing workshop, it's the quickest way to learn how to draw ever, and it's free. It's going to be Wednesday and Thursday from 6:30 to 8 p.m. on tomorrow and Thursday, both days. And there's a link to to sign up. You have to register, and it's found on any of my Facebook pages. I guess I should have added it to YouTube. Haven't gotten to that yet. A bit behind the 8 ball. If you can't catch it now, I'll be redoing it again. I don't do it very often live, and it's always a better way to get it. And I'll be doing it again live in January. January 4th and 5th, I believe. Yeah, when Doug says he's going to take a painting, he's a meticulous kind of guy. He's probably going to take a far more, I'm just guessing, but a far more realistic approach. I'm going to keep this nice and loose, at least to begin. As I always tell my students, don't paint the end of the painting at the beginning. So many people try and do that. The first thing they do is they dive into the detail of whatever catches their eye is the most important thing. And in the process, they lock themselves in later on to discover, hey, that's not exactly the right structure. I really want to change the size of this. I want to move it over. I didn't get the scale right and get the position right. And it's a big hassle then to make changes. Whereas you can see this, I can easily change anything. And I just starting with loose washes. I'm working over a used canvas. I don't often do that, but this was from the other night, and I could have taken it further, but I wasn't too enamored of the finished product. I was more interested in the process of what I was doing, and so I'm just gonna retire this piece and move on. And besides which, it's the perfect size for this commission, and it's the only canvas I have in this size right now in stock. So there you go. So I need to carry a little more stock on hand. I don't often, by the way, do commissions, so this is a bit of an anomaly for me as well. Okay. I think we're getting kind of close here to what I'm looking for. I'm going to keep this nice and fresh looking. The colors. Hey, Jamie, you're going to have to stick around or watch the replay. That's all there is to it. I can't give away too much, huh? Otherwise there'd be no reason to stick around. Maybe I'll give a prize to the first person who figures it out. Mentions it in the comments. I'll just say it's something I don't think I've ever painted before. And that's what intrigues me about a commission, where I can grab and do something that I've not done. I think I'm going to bring a little color into this guy. You win the prize. And the prize is you get to take my free workshop, along with everybody else that gets to take it for free. What do you think of that? It's already showing up a little bit. Yeah, you guys may not. Oh, I should have more of a zoom on this for you guys. Let's see, can I do this live? Can I zoom in a bit? Where's my effects panel? There it is. It's only so far I can go. There you go. Okay. But I think I'll pull it out just a bit. Hey, Laura beat you to it. Yes, indeed. It is. Little dog. So some friends I know, their dog passed away, and they want a memorial. And seems there's been a lot of that. A lot of my friends are missing their pets, their animals. And I am a great dog lover myself. I don't know why I've never painted a dog before. But maybe I'll make up for that now. You know what? I haven't painted much of anything in the last while. I was going to be on here every... Oh, you keep distracting me there, Jamie. What was I just saying there? Oh. We're going to boost these contrasts a bit already. And one of the ways to avoid painting the end of the painting at the beginning is to keep to larger brushes early on. And in fact, I stick with larger brushes as long as I can. So I take it that my sound is not being muted, that I have indeed got some royalty-free music here that's, well, it keeps popping out once in a while. Do ask questions if you could specifically, especially if there's something to do related to painting, that'd be great. That would help me to keep focus. But if there's something else you want to ask too, that's good too. Have I ever done digital painting? As in, on the iPad, I do it all the time. I do digital painting, I also do digital design, I do illustrations, I also do project planning. Plus, when we meet on Mondays for our meditative drawing sessions, I'm usually leading from an iPad so that I can easily show everyone what I'm doing as I progress, even, otherwise, because I tend to twist around and have it in different positions, and if I did it otherwise, yeah. Yeah, he's definitely very sweet. Thank you, Christina. I know you're another dog lover. In fact, you're a dog painter, right? I should have you on. If you want, you could jump in and we could talk a little bit. Just let me know if you're interested. And I can do that for anyone. It's easy to set you up to join the conversation and to actually come online with me. Digitally, okay, cool. Oh. Okay, so I'll take a little break and talk to that specifically for you. Hang on a second here. Cool. So, Doug, I use a very specific palette. You can ignore the golds and silvers on there. That was for that snowflake. And there's actually two sets on here, one that's dried and one that's still wet. And here's what I use as a very specific palette. And you'll appreciate this because it's a scientific palette. I use primary magenta, primary cyan, primary yellow. And that creates my three primaries. I use white, of course, titanium white. Zinc white is just too mellow for me. Titanium's stronger. And then in terms of blacks, I use any black. So instead I use a burnt phthalo blue and burnt umber. And I have a video on YouTube about those and why I use them. And you'll notice these are all golden. You can get them from a couple of different brands, but in terms of consistently being available from in professional quality, golden has been, that's where I find them. And I actually have links in some YouTube videos to some Amazon sources. You can get them elsewhere as well. Vertec. Oh, well, okay. I don't know if that's spam or what that is. Christina, are you? Yeah, you're saying you're a pet painter. Do you want to come on the show here with me for a bit? Let's see, where's the interview screen? I don't want to get too distracted, but wouldn't be bad to speak to. Oh, I grabbed the wrong thing. And now I'm... Okay. How do I add you? Yeah, Golden these days. I used to use Stevenson. That was a Canadian company. They went under. Then vary between Liquitex and Golden. Winsor Newton, not bad, but maybe more in terms of oils, in terms of acrylics. I am trying to figure out how to add you. I've done this before, and I can't remember how to do it. I'm gonna have to maybe it's at the bottom. There it is. It was hidden at the bottom. Okay. Just a second here. And let's see. Okay. Christine, I just messaged you a link to join if you want to get in for a little bit. Cool. All right. I like this. It's a good little bit of underpainting here. It might actually a lot of that might be the final painting. The process here is to keep this nice and loose. And I think once I find how the background starts to define it and how I pull up a few more of my contrasts a little more, we'll see where it goes. Okay. So away we go. I'm going to get back to painting. If you jump in on that interview, Christina, I'll add you in. Get some of your wisdom, because you paint a lot of animals and I do not. And not that I shouldn't. I've determined recently, it's a really interesting thing that I didn't really know this about myself, but I'm an animal person. I'm obsessed with animals, and it just never occurred to me before. Maybe I consider people as just a kind of animal. Oh, there we go. There we go. Well, we're not going to do that. We're going to add you to the rest.
Oh, I think I'm here.
Yeah,
Let me
you're
just
here.
Turn up my volume.
Yeah. So, any advice for me in terms of what's going on here?
I think he's brilliant. He's so cute.
Well, yeah, he kind of is. It's a great photo. You know, when someone sends me a photo and they say, hey, this is my favorite. Oh, let me turn down the music here a little bit. Maybe I'll even pause it for a second. Because oh, there's the volume. There we go. Yeah. When somebody sends you, I got a whole bunch of photos from them, and I don't know what your experience is, but a lot of them are like typical snapshots. And then there's this one that's just like this beautiful nature glamour shot of this pupper, and it's just so cool.
Yeah, I like to do photos, like work from photos where you can really sense the character of the animal. Like, I just finished one here. I don't know if you can see that.
Can you hold it? Oh yeah, that one. The detail in it and that grouchy attitude there. That dog just exudes attitude. I'm kind of loving it.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to do him, because he was so funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I have a kitty
Well, the other thing
also
too.
that's full of.
The other thing that was cool too is that they actually sent video, and I got to see
Oh, that's fun.
the playfulness of the dog, and that was really cool too because it gave me a whole nother impression as well. Like, I mean, otherwise I might just, and I think it was when it was younger, but it was still like great reference material to just inspire
Yeah.
the approach of what's going on. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, because especially if you're, just for my feeling, if you're doing a pet portrait, you're really doing a family member.
Yep.
So the more you can bring that character into the piece for them, I think is probably, the best gift you can give within that piece.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's the thing is a lot of people just say, "Well, it's a pet portrait, so I'll paint that breed of dog or whatever," and I think, nah, it's really it really is. It's a portrait, and like I said, I'm a little crazy about animals, so I feel far more that you need to investigate and capture and share what the things that people love about their pet, and like I say, just lucky in this is that they sent me such a beautiful photo to work from that makes it a whole lot easier for me.
Yeah, he's pretty cute.
He is.
Because I find sometimes too, like there's because I'm a large breed dog. I like the bigger dogs.
Me too. Absolutely.
And sometimes I get requests to do a piece of a breed that I don't particularly like. It's not a breed I would ever have.
Speaking about dog lovers.
Commentary. But then I find sometimes I really end up loving that little animal that I'm doing.
Oh, you can't help it.
Just because I painted it.
Well, and like I say, when I got to watch the video, suddenly, there was a whole, like, the video of this dog was of it jumping around this much smaller dog that was just standing there, and this one was just like total invitation to come play the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, that's so cool. And so you can see, I don't know if you can see there, other people, what I just did is by not locking myself in early, I'm restructuring the painting. The body is too small for the head. Even though the head's extra large because it's a bit of a wide angle shot, pretty close up. But by keeping it loose early on, I can still make these adjustments. And with this technique, the reality is I could get as detailed as I wanted over time, just by painting over and over again. But I love keeping it loose in the early stages. But actually, my finished painting may look a lot like this. Okay, sorry, Christina. That was a bit of me.
Oh yeah.
Pontificating to the crowd of 0 that are watching. Who knows? And who knows how many might be.
Like when I do mine, I start off with doing it in watercolor pencil crayon. Mm-hmm. I have when I'm doing my pet portraits, I do them in a specific way, and then they become multi-moody because I'll do watercolor initially, and then I'll go in and I'll use chalk pastels and Conte, and just work within that. The character out more because I find with the chalks, you can get softness, but you have to do lots of layering with chalks.
And with those materials, you definitely have to plan out much more. Acrylics are much more free. So, Jamie, you're still there. I forgot about this. In the past, when I've done interview mode, I've ended up with a lot of echo. And was there echo, and is there still echo? Because I just turned on echolation. So let me, and got my set up right. I unfortunately don't have this all figured out yet. So yeah, Jamie, if you could let me know if there's any kind of echo. And the comments are always delayed by about 20 seconds. So, I'm here, how come you aren't answering? And it's because you haven't seen the question yet. So we may... But yeah, absolutely. When you're doing a color and pencil crayon, man, that takes a lot more planning and structure from the very beginning, right? It's one of the things I love about doing acrylics
Yeah.
is that I've got the freedom to play. Reverb, yeah. It sounds like she's on a stage. Yeah, I think it's the same problem I had before. I need to work that out. But actually, last time I did this, I did it on a different. I did it a different way, so this will not be as bad. I'll have to listen to the replay afterwards and figure it out. Okay. Any last words, Christina? Before I send you off into the ether?
I think I'm good. I know I've got a couple of dogs that are like, you need to take us out for walkings. So
you got to walk your dogs. I got to walk mine. I'm mixing my soda water with my matcha tea.
as long as you don't mix it with your paint water.
I'm keeping them. Paint water is here and here. Drinks are over here. I've made that mistake often enough. So, yeah. Well, there we go.
Well, it was great to join you, Miranda. Thank you for inviting me.
All right. Anytime. I'll even have it set up in the future so we can do this in a way that actually still see me or what I'm doing. Anyway, work out that fast. Sooner or later, I'll figure it all out. Maybe. I'll be dead then, but whatever. It's all good. Okay. Have a good day. Back to painting. So I've got... don't think I'm going to grab any more guests today, but, in the future, if you want to come on, you even want to paint along, do your own painting, whatever. I'm open to the option, the idea. I just need to start getting at this in earnest. Otherwise, time's going to get away on me. Already is a little bit. So I'm playing with negative space here a little bit, using the background to define the edges of the creature and establish the contrasts. Brushes are now in the way. Wow. This royalty-free music doesn't suck. At least I don't think it does. So I'm layering on a little bit here because there's some front details I'm gonna bring on last. I also have a habit of not painting the canvas right to the edge, although this was already sort of painted a little bit, but I'll probably keep some of that. A miracle. Everything's a miracle, Jamie. Absolutely. Hey, Jamie, you're always on here when I'm on here. Don't you have a life? I bet you do. I bet you're a busy man. Lots of work. Bit of a media genius you are. Writing and producing videos and books and what all. Okay, those colors are a little bit punchy. So afraid maybe the background's getting a little too dramatic. Guess we'll find out as we go. Graphic design at the moment. Okay. Listening in the background. Okay, that's cool. So who taught you design? How did you get in that? So the loose feel of the background. It's the there's this guy who reminds me a lot of me. Yeah, okay, yeah, but probably a lot smarter than me. Imagine. That's my guess. Because if you're doing it for real, you must have got some decent instruction. Okay. Well, I really like how he's popping out there now. And I like how the wide angle lens gives it an automatic focus. Him, everything, him, her. I think it's a him. Is kind of radiating out. And that's kind of cool. And then we've got this thing, which is some kind of seed puff, I think. And we'll figure out how to bring that in. Oh, that is so close to Charlie Brown Christmas. So close. Makes me think somebody might be getting sued. Christmas time is here. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. A little too busy. We'll figure some of that out as we go here. Might blend some of this bit more back in, especially on that side. Add a little more yellow into that, I think. There we go. That's simplification. Does wonders. Because I've got some more details coming up and I don't want it to be too complicated when we get there. I also want a nice contrast between the subject matter and the background. So I'm going to bring even a few more lights in here. I think all in all, the background needs a little less texture. I want it to be unified, but not the same, right? I'm going to bring some unification in here by having similar brush strokes, going a little broader with them, longer with them. The streams seem to cut out every once in a while. Yeah, I have a feeling that... Hi, Christy. Good to see you. Nice last name there, by the way. I've been having problems with my internet, and I think since I'm receiving a stream in at the same time that I'm streaming out, I'm streaming my music in. I should just download it all, and that would save me some. Plus, my music is cutting out, so you might think that your stream is cutting out. It's actually my music's cutting out as well. Like there, it just did. Christmas time is here. Starting to feel like it is, in fact. Okay. Christy, I probably should do one of your dog. That'd be a cool thing. Question, am I going to see Christmas? Assuming so. Hey, whoever you are, Facebook user, I can't see your name. Thank you, adorable. You might want to type in your name. And you might even let me know where you're streaming from, because I have this problem in that certain sources won't let me see who the name is. And I think it might be, my guess is that it might be because you're in watching from my Facebook group, which is a private group. And that might be the reason. So I'm still establishing. I'm going to move this Lego brick. It's about the right spot. Maybe, yeah. Okay. I think maybe I'll bring the chest down just a bit more. I used to think that talking totally distracted me from painting, and it used to. But I think from all these years of teaching, it actually oftentimes helps to focus and to keep going and having company. Chris Jones, and hey Chris, are you communicating from, are you watching from inside my Facebook group? I think you're in my group. Or where are you watching from? Or on the Facebook, one of my pages, or the Arting with Randall page. Help me with this troubleshooting a little bit. Oh, you're from the group. Okay. So that's the problem. If you're watching from the private group, it won't show your name. So you just have to identify yourself or from somewhere else. So one of the things that happens here, and you're probably not seeing a whole lot of here. Let's grab a camera here. Let's see if I can pull this any closer. Arting with Randall, yeah. Okay. Okay, but everything's called Arting with Randall. Is the Arting with it's Arting with Randall the page? Okay. Okay, here we go. I'm running out of cable here. Oh, this is just gorgeous for you, isn't it? There we go. You can see a little more of the detail. What's happening, and it always happens with acrylics, is as it dries, it loses a lot of its contrast and punch. So I'm going to varnish this, and that will help to break the contrast. So there's and here's the source material I'm working from, and there we go. You can see the colors better here and now. Oops, I should switch the camera before I do that. There we go. So this is my handy dandy little online cam. I think I should just do this with it so it doesn't run out of cable so easily. Oh, I can't do that now that it's set up that way. Oh well, look at me having technical problems on air. Not the first time. I don't think I could be on technical problems. Okay, so back to it. Like where it's going. Probably, if I stick with it now instead of talking too much, I could be done by now. But well, live streaming is definitely about technical problems, absolutely. So yeah, I'm losing a lot of the beautiful contrast here, so I'm going to punch them all a little more. I'm might have to refresh my paints. They're getting a little messy and also dried up a bit. It's got a lovely little mustache there. I didn't do that very well. So you can see that I make my mistaken brush strokes all the time, and I just paint over the bad mistakes. Hopefully. I think I need a smaller brush to get in there and do some of the eye stuff. I might even need something smaller than this. Let's see here. I love how the dog's keeper's reflection is in the eyes, taking the little detail I want to capture. So I just thought of it, probably, like I said, it wouldn't be great if the recipient of this painting watching live, but after the fact, that could be a great part of the gift, to get to see the piece being painted. I'd never thought of that before. Little bit of mamba. Let's do the mambo. Hey, good to have you. Yes, definitely time lapses. These days, I just don't have enough to do any post-production on any of my videos. That's why I'm going live and just posting stuff straight up. For a while there, I was doing just overproducing everything, and it was just eating them up and my money like crazy. And so I decided to do this crazy live thing instead. And it's not everybody's cup of tea, and of course it's not going to probably grow my presence very quickly. It's not my main priority. My main priority is sharing with those that want to share in the process. You're doing French. Tell me what are you doing? You're learning French? Teaching French? In here. Yeah, doing homework? What's up? Redoing the level 7 French, like music's helping you study, except it's cutting out all the time. Level 7, is that high school? I never finished French. I switched to German. There's a long story behind that, but I never did. Dion Diova. It's fire hard to paint. That might be a typo. Trying to get the level next promotion. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, working with the military, you have to be quite fluent in both of our official languages, I would assume. So, yeah. Little soda water for refreshment, a little bit of matcha for a bit of a kick in the pants. really love where this is going now. I think I might have painted the eyes a little too close. Oh, is fire hard to paint? Oh, okay, that's a good question then. The question mark, yes. Okay. I guess it all depends what you're trying to do. If you're trying to do something semi realistically or something like that, then definitely can be hard to paint. I don't have any examples here, but I have painted fast and more symbolically and very loosely like this painting, and I found it was really fun and just exciting to do it. If you want to paint realistically, it's going to take some work because of the fact that it's energy and translucency. You can see through fire energy and it's radiating light, and so that's why for me painting sunsets, thing where the light is emanating, it's hard to get a strong enough contrast in the painting. You end up having to make everything a little too dark in order for the really bright things to actually appear bright and show bright. If you look back here behind me, I've got, oops, this landscape, and it just, I mean, to me, that's not a bright enough contrast for that sunlight to just pop the way it should. But nonetheless, that house, that house behind me, that is that outdoors this summer during I'm in one called Rosebud, little hamlet, and we do a workshop and a plein air, just invitation where people come in. And I think we had about 40 or 50 painters come to Rosebud to paint all around town for a weekend. And I only got to paint for about a day. And I just grabbed one of my easels, and instead of having a nice portable setup, I just plopped it across the street from my house and painted my house. So my house doesn't look like that because the paint is peeling. And so people from town were walking by and they said, "Oh, you painted your house." And I went, "Yeah, finally." Anyway, so there, my little joke. Okay, back to the painting. Still trying to find out the right camera here. Okay, so as I said, I think the eyes are maybe a little too close together. I think there might be a way to fix that without having to totally redo them. Yes, I left out a few of the details, the little scraggly tree in front of the house and a few things like that. It's a matter of editing and just making painting what's the most important thing about what you're painting, right? You know, I guess people don't always realize that, like, I might move a tree or even a mountain to make his composition work better, right? That's all acceptable artistic license. We sometimes get to really use artistic license, and some people overuse it. Their license should be suspended, but no, I'm kidding. It's a joke. I need to go back to that smaller paintbrush. And it looks like I'm totally out of phthalo blue. This is so much fun. I mean, I wish I could do this all the time. I gotta the liquefy tool, you got it. I could just hit the bloat button and there we go. It would be done. That's a Photoshop joke amongst those that are in the know. Okay. You're not distracting. I distract myself as much as anything. And you know what? This is good because it actually, it's keeping me in the painting. This is a good comment. Tell you what, I don't know where you are or art experience, but I'm doing a free workshop starting tomorrow and the next day, and also again in January, that gets you started into drawing realistically, and it gets you just 12 hours. Well, with 2.5 hours instruction, you end up drawing a beautiful, realistic painting of or drawing of your own hand, and then. If you want, you can go on to take my course, which in 12 hours gets you drawing realistic portraits in pencil from people that are in front of you, from real life. Why do I talk about that? Because that, I believe, is the beginning of painting and taking it to painting. And then I'm going to have a new course coming up in February, March or so. And I want people that have at least the level of drawing that they would get in my course. So you don't have to worry about figuring out shapes so much. They already know that. Then we can deal with light and shadow and color and paint strokes and all that kind of thing. And these are no. I have a few. I have a YouTube channel. It's called Arting with Randall. But the courses, there's the free workshop, and then these other courses are going to be paid. So if you might be interested, there is always, expense in getting going with acrylic. But you can buy cheaper paints. They are more frustrating. Professional paints mix better, have better color, more opacity. They're easier to work with all around. But you can start off with paints, you can start off with canvases you can get at the dollar store, you can start off with cheap brushes, and you can just start working. You can paint on paper. When you're using acrylics, you can paint on paper, you can paint on cardboard, you can paint on anything just to get going. And you don't have to worry about canvases, but dollar store canvases. And Michael's has sales sometimes. I went and bought, I hate to say it, at one point, I'm still using these canvases. Years ago, I went and bought $1,000 worth of or $4,000 worth of canvases at Michael's, and I paid $1,000. That was a lot of canvases, and like I say, I'm still working with them. And a lot of really big ones. No, I'm painting with acrylics here. Would be a little trickier, and it's a little more expensive. But here's the beauty: people say that my acrylic paintings look like oils, and I think that's the thing, is I don't treat either one a whole lot differently than the other. I do both, actually. The landscape in the background behind me that I was showing you before, that's sorry, that one up there, that's in oil. So I work in, and I don't work that differently. Oils, if I'm going to do a bit more blending, and you can see the sky there is quite, the clouds, they're very, lots of brush stroke, kind of what I'm working with here too. So I go both ways. And okay, yes, and I'll be honest. People often ask, "Is painting?" And they'll point at one of my paintings, and they'll go, "Is that in oil or acrylic?" And I'll have to like go up and close, and a lot of times I can't tell. I don't even know, and it can take a while to figure things out. So. So people think that they have to be treated very differently and that they have to have a very different look, and that's not true at all. They can, there can be a lot of similarity in their treatment. You deal with them. And here's a little bonus tip. I'm working most of the time when I'm in oils, I'm working with water soluble oils. And so that means they're very much like acrylics. I can actually thin them and especially clean them with water. My problem is I early on exposed myself to far too many solvents, breathed them in and all sorts of things. And so my lungs, I think, are somewhat damaged. And so so I try and stay away from as much chemical exposure as I can. Now, some will say I am a hypocrite because I'm not wearing gloves, and that's true. If I were really careful about this, I would wear gloves. The music stopped. Are we still live? Oh, my screen went dead there for a second. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Okay. Well, maybe I just finished the playlist here. I'm just playing royalty-free music from Artlist with that has a mood of peaceful, because I don't want to play music that's going to get my sound knocked off of here. So I'm still thinking that my contrasts are not strong enough. My background is too dark. Too dark. So I'm going to take it down a bit more. But I'm getting some nice detail in the dog now. I think I want to bring some warm colors into this too. There we go. That does something for it. Yes, I showed it earlier, and maybe later I'll show you in the reference photo. It's on a secondary computer monitor that I'm looking at. But I want to focus in on painting right now. So again, I might show it a bit later, especially for me. There we go. Those colors, those warm spark it up. One of the problems of painting from a photograph is typically it has flattened colors, and I don't like to be constrained anyway by just the colors that are there. I want to work with some as inspiration and as starting point. So I'm looking for tools and then going, okay, that's a little cooler, that's a little darker, and so I'm going to use a blue, I'm going to use a purple, I'm going to use a brown, I'm going to use an orange, a red, and to me that makes the whole painting spark. Okay. All right, Harold. Yes, that's right. Dion, you can skip back in the video to go see the reference photo for sure. Absolutely, that makes sense. Okay. Now, and one of the dangers is to concentrate on one part of the painting to the exclusion of everything else. That's kind of a rookie mistake. And I'm doing that with the dog now. And I really should be developing the whole painting as I go. And so I will. Just going to deal with a few details here, just a little bit. I don't know, those little reflections look a little too much like they're trying to be pupils. I may have to get rid of them. Or change the shape of them a little bit. We'll see what happens. There, I think a bit better. Not as obvious. Okay. Alrighty-o. As I say, I think it's time to get into the rest of the painting. Bring up the tonalities a bit. Oh, I'm having some technical glitches here now. My screen with my reference photo keeps blinking out. This makes fun time. I'm having struggles here. I think my brush is too small. Thanks. Oh, there we go. Let's get a little more water going. That helps a lot. You know, sometimes I just realize that I've just got to say to myself the very same things I would be saying to a student if they were sitting in front of me right now. Because I'll make the same mistakes, the same rookie errors in judgment and approach. And all I need to do is get that little bit of objectivity, which is the hardest thing to do when you is to be objective and step back and not be stuck in. You get so caught up in the process that there's no objectivity left, and you make bad decisions, and you continue to follow a trap. It's like a little rabbit hole you go down. All right. I know that. Oh my goodness, on screen that looks so blue for you guys. Let's get back and let's do a quick camera check. I'll also get a bit more objective viewpoint on it. So we'll grab the other camera. VOG for your information. Okay. Hey, Lynette, hi. I'm getting some random, looks like spam messages on there too. I don't know. I don't do this enough to all this is about. But hey, if I qualify for spam, then wow, I must be big time here. This is the one I think I want. Yes. So there we go. But even that looks pretty blue compared to the painting itself. But you can see the worms I put in details. Yeah, definitely looks warm. Here's the photo from. So there's a lot of details in there. I want to bring at least some of the grasses in front into it yet. I may not bring all of them. Depends whether they add or not. And I think the ones in front of his face probably not. May not include that. Or I might move that over beside the face instead. They do kind of do an interesting job of framing the face, but I think in terms of that, I might move them actually outside of the face on both sides so that they frame it more than cover it. It's just an idea. Just going to contemplate that a little bit. I think I'm getting loads of spam from YouTube, looks like. Oh man, right now I could use a Coke. Anyone want to go grab me one? So I did want to get this finished in a very short period of time, and I've been on here. I don't know how long I've been on here. It's been too long. Hmm. Okay. Oh, somebody should have reminded me to change cameras if there's anyone still on. I don't know if there is. Okay. Sometimes I'm just caught up in what I'm doing. Okay. The resting. And now for the rest of the story. I think I need some more paint here. Okay, just checking in. This is online, see what's happening here. Cool. Okay. Yeah, it's when people comment from inside of my private group that I don't see their names. That's what I'm seeing right now. And let's pop over to, well, maybe I should close that down. Okay. Oh, might be one less thing. Okay. Now, run out of gas. I will be right back. I should have an intermission image here. I don't have one. Why don't I go back to my timer? Take a 5-minute break. There we go. See you in a couple minutes. think what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go search out some of my favorite caffeine. So I'll be gone for a little bit, and then I'm going to come on live again to finish this up. So I think most of you are already gone. That's absolutely fine. So we will take a little break, and thank you for watching and being here. And yes, I will go into caffeine, get something a little stronger. I don't drink coffee, so I always have to find an alternative. I ran out of my favorite stuff, and everything I've got here is a little too mild. I need something with a bit more kick, so I'm going to go find something. Jamie, so glad you're there, man. It just feels good to have a fellow. I have some fellow painters that sometimes I just get on and we just do a messenger call and we're painting, and we don't even look at each other's paintings. Sometimes we just hear each other breathing or swearing at our paintings or whatever. So that can be cool too. I'm liking where this is going. I think another hour or so. It's taken longer than I thought, but I'm kind of happy where it's going. So yeah, talk to you all later, and online if you're up for it. Okay. I just have to. There we go. There's my finish button. Okay. See you later.